I always thought that the best kind of polish is elbow grease. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. Leviathan requirements have been released, and not everyone is going to be getting Leviathan on its first pass. Even if we have a full month, it's going to be very difficult, very challenging. I know that my alternate account will not be getting Leviathan right away, even though I do have Malgus, and I'll be getting both Galactic Chases. And so the question is, what order should people be putting relics on for these characters? Because there were some characters that are like, well, you're not going to get much use out of them until you actually unlock Leviathan, and then it's like, well, okay, well, you used them to unlock Leviathan, so they had a good use, but other than that, you're just gonna have more value for certain things. And so I put together a list. I want to show you guys what we're going to be working on, what I'm going to be working on for my alternate account, and my reasoning behind it, guys. It's gonna be fun. You'll see. I do want to also have fun by saying thank you guys to all of my patrons. I really appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you so much for the support, folks. And I think that there's at least one person who has been left off this list. Just been a busy couple of days, so we'll get you on there. Don't you worry. Just please be patient, guys. If you want to join Patreon, by the way, it's in the video description. You can find a link. Super easy. Just a simple, quick reminder, folks, if you want to support this channel for free, all you've got to do is help me mount the algorithm, and that you can do that by liking, subscribing, commenting, dinging that bell, just like going out to your balcony and yelling at the top of your lungs, "I love Xaereth Prevails!" You could even try yodeling it. That's, that's one way to mount an algorithm. I don't know if it's like the YouTube algorithm exactly, but I've heard that it works, and I recommend that you try it, actually. That seems beneficial at the very least. So no fancy infographics tonight, folks. Let's just get into it. And apparently, like, no fanfare whatsoever. The number one character that you should be farming right away for this is none other than light side Bastila, which seems crazy probably to you. I know that you're probably anticipating other things. However, I'm just going to say this. Bastila has a few really awesome things going for her. First off, she's part of the raid that we're all scrambling to get higher numbers and higher damage numbers. And really, the first team that most people are going to be working on and getting in this current environment is going to be the Old Republic team. Like, in order to get to the crate raid and access it, that's the team that you're going to be taking people out with, is, killing crate dragons in droves of hundreds and thousands. And Basti, even though she's not a huge damage dealer, she's going to be faster. She has a really good two-man game, so to speak, with Jedi Revan. And even though, like, you want to get her to Relic 7 because of this requirements, maybe you don't want to, but she fits in really well with that team. And even if you're not going to take your team all the way to the Relic 7 level, she's still going to end up giving you more damage. The other piece, and this is timeline specific, so if you're watching this video like 2 to 4 months after I make it, it might not be as relevant, but there's actually a fairly intriguing datacron that includes Bastila Shan, and if you're going to want her to be Relic 7 for that anyways, if datacrons are a reason that you're going to, or, if it's something that you want to be using and engaging in, then Relic 7 just happens to be for one of the better like level 9 datacrons out there. So Basti is the number one pick in my opinion because of the utility she offers to you, not only in the raid but in PvP, which is important to some. Then we've got Eth Koth and Eth Koth. They're awful. So next, guys, is Darth Malak. Now, a lot of times, so if you're unlocking Leviathan, there's kind of this implication that Malgus is a character that you're going to need, that you're going to have, because if you don't have Malgus, you can't unlock the Fury Interceptor anyways. However, Malak is, he tends to go with Malgus, almost always. Even if he doesn't, if you just put him with Darth Revan, Malak is the reason people lose with a lot of different counters. He is crazy tough, and at Relic 9, he's a tank and gains a huge boost. You can see my alt actually already did this one. I was already Relic 8 with him, and I had the keyboards, or the keypads. I was like, alright, we're just gonna go for it, instead of getting Basti up to 7, like I'm telling you guys now. But that's mostly because I had the materials ready for a 9, and I just wanted to lock a 9 up, which, you might want to just do that for your own mental health, but I think Malak is a great reason for this, for doing that, because he's a tough guy to kill, and if you don't hit him hard enough, if you hit him hard but not hard enough to kill him, you're gonna get feared, and it's a whole mess. He is still, even though he doesn't have a chin, even though his loincloth is ambitious at best, maybe like a little. It's not little. It's amazing actually, but yeah, he has 2 stripes on his head. He's like racing stripe. He's crazy, man. He doesn't have a chin. He's quite the specimen. I would highly recommend it, guys. He's just tough to kill, and the boost for a tank from 8 to 9 is just incredible. It just is. Next, I would say work on Sortie, and I know that maybe some people don't even have her farmed. I know that that's a limiting factor for a lot of people. However, if you have her farmed at gear 12, she is going to be good because of the same reason I was saying before, the raid, the crate raid. She's part of it. She's Old Republic, and she's actually part of a team that right now allows you to use mostly Hutt Cartel, but of course you have to use Sortie as well. But you can use Hutt Cartel and a couple others to get 2.7 million on both of them. So she's vital if you want to max out your total damage in the crate raid, guys. And it's just a gift. She is super enjoyable. Her Datacron's expiring, but she's gonna be strong, guys. I should also point out all the Sith with the current Datacron, or the upcoming Datacron set, are going to be pretty fantastic, but that's not really why I chose Malak there. He's just so impactful at 9. Going from 8 to 9 is nuts. Yeah, so Sortie, she's already good in her own right, but being able to help with the raid, that's nice, guys. And the raid has diminishing returns as you continue to invest in these characters. Eventually, it's going to be like, oh, really? Okay, so you're investing, you're working on Tuskens right now, but the new raid is coming in like a month or two. Like, why are you working on Tuskens for the raid? That doesn't make sense. If you're working on them for a different reason, that's another thing. But anyways, we've got Darth Revan next, folks, and that's just because he's an attacker. He hits really hard, and he's not as good at 9. Honestly, he doesn't see as much impact at 9 as Malak does. But, getting him up to 8 at the very least. Like, he's an attacker. He already does a lot of damage. He's going to do more damage. And his utility is just so nice. You can really mod him to, you give him some speed and then a bunch of offense and just take people out. And his kit kind of provides all the potency he needs, all the stuff. You probably want to put some health on him or whatever, but like the amount of health he gets when he gets up to 9 is probably going to be pretty impressive. Like, he's already, even at just 5, he's getting the 13k. He'll get more. Remember, he goes with Dark Basti and really wants to hook up with her. No, he does, but that's a story for after hours. All right, Zereth prevails after dark. Just kidding. It's creepy. All right. So Red Trooper is probably next. A lot of people probably already have him at Relic 5. I don't on this account, obviously. I don't have Supreme Leader Kylo, but here's the thing. He is the pilot for that TIE Dorito that we have, and if you've already unlocked Tide Dorito as part of your Leviathan stuff, like he's going to impact your fleet as well, even though he's not. The Tide Dorito doesn't look like it's going to be like a kind of a really strong ship with First Order or something. I mean, I used it the other day. It wasn't too bad. Like on my main account, it seemed like it was doing some damage. It did some stuff, but like I think at the end of the day, he has multiple utilities, or like ways to multiple utilities. Gosh, what a weird way to say that. But he is useful in multiple arenas, I should say. So he's good with First Order. If you don't have good First Order, then put him with Sith. He is actually very strong with Sith. And if you don't have a good Sith squad, I mean, first off, why are you even like watching that? I mean, you should watch all my videos, obviously, but like Leviathan is unattainable for someone who has bad Sith. The thing is, Red Trooper is going to assist all of your Sith. He's going to assist them, guys. Oh, okay. So he assists, he does all that stuff. He's also a pilot of a, yes, mediocre ship, but he is a character that you're going to use regardless of if you have First Order or not. He is a very strong character, and he hits crazy hard. And you probably, I mean, and then you have one character closer to getting Kylo eventually unlocked. Sith Empire Trooper. Okay, so this is probably the biggest question mark for me, like Sith Empire Trooper versus Sith Trooper. First off, we don't know if the Mark 6 is actually going to be really great anywhere else than with Leviathan. Maybe. It looks to me a little better than the Tide Dorito is, but who really knows? I mean, I read the kits just like earlier today, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, that looks better. But so just from the ground value of Sith Empire Trooper, here's the thing. I love pretons. They are such useful tools, and you just don't really need them to be super competitive, guys. I hate to tell you, like, there are some times that you really need one. I won't deny it. However, this account that I'm at 8.9, and I'm in Kyber 2, and I have not worked on any pretons unless they were required, and you can get by without them. If you're just going for ground stuff, they're non-vital to your stuff. Like, the thing is, you're just one dispel away from him being totally worthless. Frankly, like, he takes a hit, but if you don't have it planned out really well, he's just not like this crazy impact character. And I know that some people love him so much, and he can be so crazy tanky. I actually lost a JC match specifically because of him at one point, because him with Malgus is actually fairly gross in threes. In fact, we'll talk about that at some other point, but you know, he's very mod friendly. You can just put a ton of defense and armor on him. He doesn't have to be fast, and you know, he's a really good character in some ways, and in some ways I'm just underwhelmed. It's like, what is he most useful at? Like, hanging out with Sith Eternal Emperor, frankly. Like, that's what he's good at. And this isn't about Sith Eternal Emperor. This is about, like, trying to get this character up and running. Like, he doesn't go with Revan anymore. If you have Malgus, he doesn't go with Revan anymore. I'm sorry to say. So, this guy, limited utility in my opinion. Yes, he's going to be a pilot of a good ship. Probably an essential one for Leviathan, but you don't have Leviathan yet, so you're getting utility out of him where you can until you get Leviathan. Similarly, guys, Darth Maul, yes, he has a couple builds. He's had a couple niche builds where it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, you facilitated destroying Lord Vader for like 2 seasons with the right datacron, or maybe 4 seasons. But it wasn't. It's like his kit, his leadership is actually fairly good. I mean, it's niche is what it is. And I mean, if you have as few Zetas as me, like, you're not going to get it anyways, but it's been good forever. He's such an old school character. Honestly, he's good. He's okay. He's non-vital, guys. He's a requirement character for Sith Eternal Emperor, actually, now that we're talking about it, and this account is almost about to start farming Sith Eternal Emperor for free, which is hilarious to me because I haven't been trying to farm for any of his characters. They just happen to be really important. But Darth Maul, I'm not talking about Sith Eternal Emperor. Go unlock him on your own time, guys. Darth Maul, not that vital. If you're, I mean, I'm at 9 million. I'm in Kyber 2, doing pretty well. Only have 3 Galactic Legends. Still staying there. He doesn't have a place, guys. He doesn't need to be anywhere. And yes, he's a pilot, and it's the same exact thing as Sith Empire Trooper. He might be a pilot for a vital ship later. Right now, he's a garbage pilot for a garbage fleet that's just part of like a burner fleet at best. Yes, it can be helpful at times, but almost never. Almost like not in like a vital position. It's like, oh yeah, like we can afford to lose the scimitar. Like who even cares? All right, HK-47. He is. I mean, we're starting to scrape the bottom now, guys. So HK-47, he has some uses here and there sometimes. In 3s, I've always have a fond part in my heart. It's I will always think kindly of HK-47 on some levels, because he with Darth Revan and Basti will in 3v3 kill Jedi Master Luke, and I've done that before. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool. He does a ton of damage to Jedi. He can also, like, he does a lot of shenanigans. Like, if you put one of his Zetas on, it stops people who have protection up from gaining bonus turn meter, which just stops troopers if you don't realize what's going on. Like, I've seen people just attack a Darth Revan squad. Oh yeah, I always beat Darth Revan with troopers. And HK-47 is like, oh hey, you used the special on range trooper. We will kill you now. Thank you. That being said, that's not really like part of the meta anymore. And he's even a pilot, guys. Maybe eventually, I was hoping that we'd get like a dark Bastila plus HK. Like we could get like a dark what's it called? Ebon Hawk. That would have been a lot more fun than just getting a Mark 6. Like they couldn't get it right in the previous 5 marks to be able to like create that good chip. Like why do you think Mark 6 is gonna work? Why not just give us a dark side Ebon Hawk? That would have been better, but because we don't, he's not even, the thing that screws him, guys, is he's not a Sith. He's not Sith, like he's Sith Empire, but he's not a Sith, and so he can't be on Malgus teams. If he could be on Malgus teams, I would put him way higher, make him a Sith, and he's probably the priority. He probably becomes amazing on that squad. In fact, I would love that, but he's not vital for anything really. He does some damage to Jedi. If you're going for this super early game and you somehow have Malgus, maybe he becomes more important, but I don't really think so. Finally, we have the ass, and by ass I mean the ass assassin, the one with the sass. She is she's not like just awful, and if you really like, I've seen some cool videos where because she hits underneath protection, she can just one-shot characters if you get her super high relics. You need her more than like relic 5, which is what the requirement is, but yeah, she does okay, I get. Like, she's the character you gear up when you're like, man, I'm using all of my Sith, I need another one. She's got some shenanigans. She gives some turn meter stuff. Like, yes, I'll acknowledge she has her uses, and honestly, none of these requirements, like I think the relic levels are painful, but the characters you have to gear are actually useful in so many different layers, folks. And Sith Assassin is honestly also somewhat useful. Not crazy useful, but I mean, she's got uses here and there, and her ship might end up being really good with Leviathan. We don't know, but like I've said with Maul and with Sith Empire Trooper, you don't have Leviathan yet, and therefore the Sith, like if you want a ship that's worse than Scimitar right now, it's gonna be that Sith Fighter. Like, those are like the 2 worst, right next to maybe Jedi Consular, but the Consular actually calls an assist, a targeted assist. The other 2 are just they're just worthless. An assist. Alright, guys. And that's it. What's your order? What do you think is better? I'd like to hear what you have to say. I'm not the sole arbiter of truth, but I hope that this provided a little bit of insight, at least, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. Go get that Leviathan, folks. I hope. Good luck.